Hi, I'm Phil, and in these Essential Movies videos, I take a spoiler-free look at a film that I think every film lover and budding filmmaker should check out. Today, we're looking at The Graduate.
Left its seeds while I was sleeping.
The Graduate was released in 1967, directed by Mike Nichols. It was his second movie. It stars Dustin Hoffman, Anne Bancroft, and Catherine Ross, and was written by Buck Henry, based on the novel by Charles Webb. Another screenwriter is also credited, Calder Willingham, and he did write a draft, but the version of the script that they shot was entirely written by Buck Henry with Mike Nichols. Buck Henry also acts in the movie.
Can I help you, sir? What?
Now, Mike Nichols at this point was just breaking into Hollywood. He was a star director on Broadway, having made, most famously, Barefoot in the Park, the play version of that, which was also made into a film starring Robert Redford and Jane Fonda.
You know how the Eskimos keep warm?
They check into a motel.
And prior to that, he was part of a comedy duo with Elaine May.
Every human being has certain natural urges, and I got some.
I don't know what you mean.
So Mike Nichols was a performer, but when he started doing Barefoot in the Park, he found his home as a director. Nichols had been approached by Lawrence Terman, who owned the option on the book that The Graduate is based on. This was to be his first movie, but it was so many years in development, getting the script right and then casting it, that he ended up making Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf first as a film, starring Richard Burton and Elizabeth Taylor.
You're a monster. You are.
I'm loud, and I'm vulgar, and I wear the pants in the house because somebody's got to. But I am not a monster.
And this was a massive hit. It won lots of Oscars, and Nichols was being thought of as the new Orson Welles in Hollywood. So while The Graduate was the first film he began to make, it was the second film he ultimately made. And I recommend you watch this for many reasons. The cinematography by Robert Surtees, who'd been working in Hollywood since 1927 as an assistant originally, is spectacular. Every shot is carefully thought out, carefully choreographed. His use of lenses and the way the scenes are framed and the way the camera moves is a masterclass in how to stage for film a very character-driven, dialogue-driven kind of film. Nichols, of course, coming from stage, rehearsed a lot with his actors. And many of the scenes are shot in 1 or 2 takes. Lengthy scenes, 10 pages worth of dialogue even.
Don't get up.
So it's almost like a play on film.
Doesn't he look to you like the kind of guy who has to fight them all?
Yes, he does.
And in the way it's cut. There's a montage sequence here, for example, that links together a series of match cuts to show the procession of time. The story is fundamentally about young Ben, played by Dustin Hoffman, who's returned home from college, and the theme of the film, as I see it, is, what are you going to do with your life? What are you going to do now?
I just want to say one word to you. Just one word.
Yes, sir.
Are you listening?
Yes, I am.
Plastics.
And the spine of the film, as I see it, comes from these lines from the very opening of the film.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to begin our descent into Los Angeles.
There's a double meaning there. Now, one radical thing they did here was, in the original book, the character as described should have been played by someone like Robert Redford, and he was available and even auditioned for the part, and he would have been the right age for it as well. He could have been good in the role. But Mike Nichols thought that was a bit too obvious. And because the young Robert Redford was so handsome, it would be hard to believe that he would have difficulty with women. He ended up casting against type, effectively, with someone like Dustin Hoffman, who was shorter than the character was supposed to be, and maybe not as good looking as he was supposed to be. But he's very credible in the role. This was Hoffman's first movie, having had a minor success off-Broadway. The script by Buck Henry, borrowed of course from the original novel, is at once very funny and at the same time very awkward.
Mrs. Robinson, you're trying to seduce me. Aren't you?
The music is also another good reason to check this film out. The songs are written by Paul Simon, performed by Simon and Garfunkel. Like an earlier film I covered a few weeks ago, this is like Easy Rider, where they're using popular songs of the era as the primary score for the movie. In this case, from the same artist. but they were not necessarily written for the film. That said, this one song, however, was adapted for the film.
And here's to you, Mrs. Robinson. Jesus loves you more than you will know. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
And the ending of this film, the very last shot of this film, is very famous. And it perfectly represents the theme of the film. What are you going to do now? I won't show you that here, though. You've got to watch the film for that one.
You need any gas, Father?
If you like these kinds of videos, you know what to do. If you'd like to learn more about filmmaking, check out my book linked below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.
There's a great future in plastics. Think about it. Will you think about it?
Yes, I will.
Enough said. That's a deal.